This morning I read Matthew chapter 13 and I realized something so crucial and so powerful about evangelism, about sharing the gospel with our friends, our family, our coworkers, other people around us that don't know and are not followers of Jesus. And we see in Matthew chapter 13, Jesus share this parable of the sower, of this man or this farmer sowing seeds. And throughout it, you see all of these descriptions about the soil that the seed falls on, the different circumstances and situations that the seeds fall into, and whatever that is, whatever that type of soil is, determines the fruitfulness of the seed, if the seed actually grows and digs roots and actually sprouts up. But we see all these descriptions and all these things about the soil, not the sower. However, I think for so many of us, when we think of evangelism, when we think of sharing our faith and sharing the gospel with people around us, we think it's all about the sower. We are the sower. We're the person sowing the seed of the gospel. We're the farmer sowing the seed of the good news of what Jesus has done for each and every one of us. And so often we think that it's all on us. Oh man, I've got to package the message perfectly. Even me as a pastor, I've got to write and craft the perfect sermon and say all the right words and deliver it in the right cadence, in the right way, and have the perfect illustration and make sure all of my points are these clean alliterations. And like we get so caught up in the sower. However, we see that the success of the sower has nothing to do with the sower. The success of the planting or the sowing of the seed has everything to do with the condition of the soil it's planted in. And my encouragement to you, what I realized this morning, my encouragement for you to know, as you are a follower of Jesus, you are called, one, to share the gospel. That each and every one of us is called to be a sower or a farmer sowing the seed of the gospel and sharing the gospel with those in our life, those that we care about. It's not an idea. It's not a suggestion. We see later on in Matthew, Jesus gives what we call and refer to as the Great Commission, that each and every one of us as followers of Jesus have been tasked to share the gospel with those around us. It's not, an idea, a suggestion. It's not something fun or cool to do. It is a mandate that each and every one of us have. And truthfully, if we believe the gospel, if we believe the power of what Jesus has done for each and every one of us, if we know it's something we all are in need of, why would we hold that back? Why would we hold that good and great thing, this eternally life-changing and transformative thing from others? We're going to want to share it. We're going to, when we realize what the gospel really is and the power it has to free others, not just for now, but for all of eternity, why would we withhold that? And why would we not share that with others? So one, we are called to do that each and every one of us should see ourselves as the sower in this story. But the other thing to realize and to recognize is that the success of the sowing had nothing to do with the sower or the farmer, had everything to do with the condition of the soil. Here's what I mean. God has not called you to outcomes. So often we hold back our testimony. So often we hold back from sharing our faith because we're so concerned and we're so wrapped up in the outcome. Oh man, what if I'm cringy? Oh man, what if it's not received well? Man, what if it doesn't come across good? What if they reject it? What if they say, hey, I'm good. I don't want to follow Jesus. Hey, I don't want to go with you to church. Hey, I don't want prayer. We get so caught up in the outcome when we don't understand that's not what God has called us to. God hasn't called you to outcomes. He's just called you to obedience. Will you be obedient to sow the seed of the gospel? Will you be obedient to share the good news of what Jesus has done with others? We see again in this parable, it's not about the sower. It's not about how good your testimony is, quote unquote, whatever you think. It's not about how good you deliver the message or share the gospel. It's just, are you sowing the seed? Are you sharing the gospel with those around you? Are you evangelizing and reaching the people around you in your life that you have access to at your workplace? In your family, in your friend group, are you reaching the people that you have access to that God has divinely placed you to reach? Are you sowing the seed of the gospel? That's what it's about. In the condition of their heart, the condition of the soil in which they receive it, that's between them and God. That's not on you. It's not on the sower to make sure that the soil is right before they sow the seed. It's just, let's sow the seed. Now, granted, yes, we absolutely can be intentional in the way that we share the gospel. I don't think it's effective to be the street preacher on the corner saying you're going to hell, turn or burn. I don't think that's helpful. I agree there's certain ways that evangelism is probably more successful and more helpful. There's better ways to do it than others. But we can't get so caught up in the outcome. We can't get so caught up in making sure that it's all right that we miss being obedient to what God has called and placed us to do. That the person's response to the gospel, the person's response to what Jesus has done for them, that's between them and God. That's for that person to figure out. That's not on you. You weren't called to go and convert and make sure that people, force them to turn and follow Jesus. That's the work of the Holy Spirit. That's not something that you were made to do. You were just simply made to be the sower and to go sow the seed, to go share the gospel with those around you, and let the work of the Holy Spirit do the rest, to let the Lord do the rest, to let that person and God figure that out. But it's not on you. And I think we would be so much more bold in our evangelism. We'd be so much more bold in our faith if we understood this principle we see in Matthew chapter 13, that we are the sower. We are called to go and sow the seed of the gospel. And the success of it is not on us. It's on the person, right? That success of that seed being planted is ultimately up to them. Are they going to be that soil? Are they that soil that's going to receive it? That's that good soil that's fertile and ready to receive the good news. Or is it a different kind of soil? Is it rocky? Is it going to get choked up by the things of the world? Is it going to be swept away? Is it going to be here for a moment and then swept away because it was just this kind of moment in this kind of excitement, but it didn't actually take deep root and last? That's up to that person. That's for them to decide. That's between them and God. That's not up to you as the sower. You were just simply called to sow the seed. And so the encouragement and the challenge today, go share the gospel. We have so many different avenues and ways. You yourself could make videos and content like this on social media. You can post things. You can reach out to your friends. Hey, let's start a Bible study. You can ask somebody if you can pray for them. You can talk to your coworkers about Jesus. You can start a Bible study at your school. There's things you can do to share the gospel. There's things you can do to share and sow the seed of the gospel with those around you. And so I encourage you, man, sow the seed of the gospel. Share the good news of what Jesus has done for everyone with those in your life. And don't get so caught up and fixated on the outcome. The outcome is not up to you, and you aren't called to control the outcome. You are just simply called to obedience. Be obedient to the call of the Lord on your life to go and share the gospel with others, and let the results be up to him. Let the outcome be up to that person and God. It's not on you. And so that's just an encouragement. That's something that the Lord spoke to me this morning as I was just getting into my word, and I hope it's an encouragement to you. I hope that you recognize and realize the power of this reality, that you are called to just be a sower of the seed of the good news, to sow the gospel into the earth and to the people around you, and that you weren't called to outcomes. You were just simply called to be obedient to that. So will you be obedient to the call of God on your life to sow the seed of the gospel? And would you let the outcome be between that person and God? If this encouraged or challenged your faith in any way, I encourage you, please hit like, hit subscribe. It just helps more people see content like this to encourage and fuel their faith. I hope you're doing great. I hope you have a blessed day, and be on the lookout for more content just like this soon.